I would actually say that this is the best state of the sport it has ever been, as long as I'm racing in the sport. You know, I mean, especially as a German guy, having the defending champion breaking the 8 hours in Kona, having Jan as the former world champion and me the 2014 world champion, all together now racing probably at their very best, is an absolutely dream situation. Guys, it already has been some time ago when I launched this YouTube channel, and I thought it's not only time for some nice pictures about training and bikes and all this kinds of stuff, but it's also time to give you a little update about the current state of play, I guess. And I'm currently in Girona. That's already the third training camp for me now. So yeah, what happened till since October last year? There has been some major changes. Of course, probably the biggest change was the coaching change. To make this clear, I was working with Lubos for quite a long time, and it has been a very successful relationship. And well, I changed to Philipp Seibt, my new coach, not because I was unhappy or some people thought I made Lubos responsible for my injury, which is completely bullshit. But as an athlete who is probably in the summer of his career, hopefully in the summer and not in the autumn yet, it was time to make a change and also give the new coach the opportunity to work with me and implement some major changes, not only for 1 or 2 years, but for a longer period of time. So with 34 years of age, I thought it is time to change something around. And up until now, I would say it was a good decision. I'm very happy. We definitely changed a lot of things. It's more, I would say, more data driven for sure. Philipp is very anal when it comes to like all these details about every single training session, which can be quite intimidating at the beginning, because I was doing a shit ton of indoor sessions and I'm not always a huge fan, but yeah, thanks to Swift and all these nice tools we have nowadays, it wasn't that boring at all. But I have to say it was really nice to have some changes. Of course, first in the first training camp in Plaitas Resort in Fuerteventura, and then in the second training camp also in Plaitas, and now here in Girona. And when I started the channel, I wasn't even able to run at all at that point. And then I slowly eased myself back into some running, first on the Alderchi, aqua running, and then back to probably like 20 Ks of jogging per week. And I think just 2 days ago I did my first double run day, maybe since August. And yesterday I did my first track session. That was probably the first since my training camp in Stellenbosch in February last year. So it's quite a long time ago for a performance endurance athlete, and so I'm very, very happy. I'm not happy with the status quo, but I'm happy with the progress, with the development in the last couple of months. And that's also the reason why we finally decided on a race schedule. So the first plan was to start racing in Texas in 70.3 Galveston. I tried to do that last year. Last year there I had a couple of nickels and couldn't race. I was at the race venue, but had to pull the plug the day before the race. But this year I decided we have to skip that race because the Achilles is still not where it needs to be and the running is not there yet. But I will do 70.3 St. George, which is an absolutely classic. It's in the mix for hosting the 70.3 World Championships in 2021, I guess. Fingers crossed for that to happen. That would definitely be on my bucket list to race a World Championship there. And I really love that race. I would not be in my absolutely best shape, unfortunately, I guess. But on the bike, the status is pretty good, and that's really one of the more important pieces there in this race. And then afterwards I go back to Germany. I race in Heilbronn, just I think 2 weeks after that race. And then the first real big highlight will be the championship in Samorin after 2 second places, both behind Lionel. This year it's time to get a win there, and I will definitely be focused on that race as a first highlight for me this year. And then of course the first real big hitter with the Germans took it out in their home country, Frankfurt, with Jan, with Patrick, with me. This one is gonna be exciting. I hope I play a major role in that race and not only be there to watch those 2 guys race for the win. But yeah, I give my very best to be in shape for that race, and then we'll see. I don't know what I gonna do for the second half. It's pretty sure that I gonna do an altitude training camp again in Livigno, which was really great last year, and I think I'm gonna do that again for this year. So first of all, I mean, I was struggling with this Achilles injury for quite some time. Actually, since 2014, I was dealing with it, and sometimes it was better, sometimes it was worse, but it was never worse enough, bad enough to actually stop me from running completely. I did a couple of longer breaks, but probably it was never bad enough to take it serious enough. And well, I mean, if there's one good thing to take away from the DNF in Kona is that I had to take it more serious, and that I had to take it more, more serious and treat it for a longer time and not just quick fix it for another race. And I've done that in the past, maybe a couple of times too often. And I have to say I was always very, very happy when it comes to injuries. I mean, it's not something that's just, bothering me. Everybody has these problems. It's just a matter how you deal with them. And of course, sometimes it can be pretty tough if you wake up in the morning and just walking to the toilet, it's already hurting, and then you want to run a marathon with it. It's not something that's really motivating. And I mean, I always thought of myself as somebody who could handle quite some pain, but I want to handle the pain that's like the self-inflicted pain that comes from working out hard, but not the pain that comes from an injury. And it was very difficult to deal with, to be honest. At one point I was just like thinking, you have to harden the fuck up and just, deal with it. And you don't have that much time left anyway, so just run over it and just like try to get enough wins in these last 2 years to whatever, not have to work in a normal job anymore. I don't know. But I think even with that problem, as I said, I had a lot of fun training last year, and I wanted to have that feeling back. And it was, I mean, I realized I still made a lot of progress in the last year with my performances, I couldn't show it, I wasn't able to show it, but I made these progresses, and that's what kept the fire burning, so to say. So I knew I just have to sort these problems out, and if they're sorted out, I will be, I will be in the mix to beat everybody. And but therefore, there had to be some major changes. I mean, a problem like that that's existing for such a long time, you're not just like, you know, have this like one thing and then it's gone, you know. I mean, it's really difficult actually. You ask 10 people, you get 10 different opinions. You go to your doctor, he's like doing an MRI and CT and ultrasonic scan and says like, yeah, we could file away a little bit from the bone and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna go to your physiotherapist, he say like, yeah, we do a little bit of shockwave, loosen your calf muscle a little bit and it's gonna be fine. You go to your osteo, he's like saying, oh yeah, you have something on your back. It's like, it's not working properly. You just like knack here and knack there and then it's gonna be fine. You go to your shoe sponsor, they say like, yeah, we're gonna make you a softer heel cup and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna go to your dentist, he's telling you like, oh yeah, there's something wrong with your teeth. You're gonna go to your nutrition scientist and he say like, yeah, omega-3 and omega-6 fat acids and it's gonna be fine, you know. It keeps going like that, and of course everybody is right, but you as an athlete have to decide at one point which is important and which is less important, and find a way to treat it. And that's something not easy, to be honest. At one point you tried everything and you think like, fuck, this is not gonna go away anymore. It's like I probably have to retire. But really now, working on all the details without losing the focus on the evidence-based things that really work, I see some light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a pretty good feeling. Yeah, probably I had sorts of retiring in my mind, but not actively thinking about it, like making plans about retirement. I think you always have thoughts like that every now and then at one point in your career. But as I said, I mean, the most important thing for you as a professional athlete is if there's still progress, that's what keeps the fire burning. If you realize you're not gonna make any progress anymore, you're actually trying to prevent your body to fall apart and to get slower every day, that's when it's gonna be really difficult. But I realized I still can improve. I still can make things better. And I still have a lot of fun with it. And I mean, the focus sometimes just shifts within your career. And I think, especially within the last year, the focus was more on progress and the path to the race instead of solely the race. And I really enjoyed that actually. So therefore, yes, I definitely thought about, fuck, I'm not gonna make this anymore. If I can't work as hard as I want to be, I will not be able to beat these people. And that's the thing. If you know you have the potential to race up there, but you can't do what you want to do, that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing. And that what really made me struggle in the training a lot, because then you lose all the motivation and you never see the progress in other things, because if you can't run, you can't race, and then it's all worth nothing. It doesn't matter how good you swim. And so I definitely lost some time looking at it now, with just me digging myself a deeper hole and don't work at the other things. But I think that's just a natural thing, and sometimes you also have to just let these thoughts find their way and don't fight them, because sometimes the mind also needs a break. You don't always have to be strong. You know, it's okay to be weak sometimes if you can be strong later, and I think that's definitely the case. I would actually say that this is the best state of the sport it has ever been, as long as I'm racing in the sport. You know, I mean, especially as a German guy, having the defending champion breaking the 8 hours in Kona, having Jan as the former world champion and me the 2014 world champion, all together now racing probably at their very best, is an absolutely dream situation. I was never racing races where I knew I'm gonna easily win this. It's not something that really motivates you. It's actually the knowledge that you are very likely to lose the race or to not win the race that really motivates you. If it's a victory that's basically forgiven, it's not really something that fuels me. You know, I mean, it's not something I work for every day. It's a possibility of not winning the race that really drives me. So therefore, I'm definitely motivated by the people in the sport and the status the sport has now in Germany, for sure. But I'm also motivated just by our group, my coach, my wife, of course, family, and just I think, I don't know, I can enjoy the lifestyle more than I could in the years past. Yeah, I really love the everyday work, the everyday grind. It's something that makes me so happy to be tired at the end of a tough training day, and you know, feeling the progress I'm still able to make. That's really something that drives you, and that has nothing to do with winning the races or not. It's something that comes from your heart, and that's very fulfilling to have this feeling.
Yourself?
To my competitors, I love you guys. Honestly, I do. Even if it's probably sometimes difficult. It's all of the people that makes the sport great, for sure, and it's the people that make the sport big. And I think Maka once said, I don't want to be a champion of a nobody sport, and this is not a nobody sport. You know, we have really great characters in the sport, and that's something that motivates me. But beating them, of course, is the most rewarding feeling. My training day video is about to air next week, and if you can't wait, you can have a look on my first double run day from Laura's perspective on her channel. Just click the link.